this meeting be my first meeting actually with you guys, so I'm glad to do this. So I'm just going to tell you guys a little bit about me first, and then I'll go in and start designing the table-scape. So I am an event coordinator, and I also just recently started doing more wall design to go along with my events, just because it's really great to be able to have kind of like full control of doing the events and the whole look. So I just recently started doing floral design. My brand is called Mesh Detroit, and I've been in business for about 2 years on my own, just really now starting to pick up and kind of do more of my own thing. With that being said, I know we're all stuck at home, so I figured why not show you guys a little easy way to do a fun dinner table-scape for, your family, your friends when they're allowed to come over again. So yeah, with that being said, I'm just going to get started, show you guys a little bit of what I have. So I actually went to Target and got some fun stuff. I got these really pretty green plating situation, and then I got these really beautiful glasses. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start with actually the table setting, so putting the plates and the flatware down, and then I'll go in with all the design elements. So I'm actually going to move these to the side for now, and then just start going ahead and kind of explaining with you guys as I go. So while I move some of this stuff around, why don't you guys tell me about your week? What have you guys been doing this week? Anything exciting or new that you've tried during quarantine for your business?
Hi Mel, it's Dee. Just wanted to say hi. Yeah, I mean, the biggest example is this beehive right here. It seems to be going great. Sorry about the confusion this morning, everyone. But I don't know. I mean, we're not, we're really a business that's centered around people coming in to work into their space. So we definitely weren't set up to kind of pivot online. But now that we have, I really love this platform, and I'm really, it's like a silver lining of everything. I'm happy that this happened so that now we get to have this fun place to meet up with everyone every day.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think people definitely need some structure right now. I can say that for myself for sure. It's been hard to want to do anything that has to relate with business, just being a little bit unmotivated. I think it's just sort of natural for a lot of people right now, and I'm part of that. So I think it's really nice that we have this outlet right now, especially since you guys just opened up. It allows you guys to connect with your network of people in a fun way.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyone else have any fun, exciting stuff they want to share? So what I just did is I had the larger dinner plate set, and then I folded these really pretty napkins. They just have a little fringe on the end, just for some texture. I folded them into a accordion fold almost. They fold in, and then I fold them again one more time. And so I put that on top of the entree plate, and then I'm going to take my salad plate and place it on top of the napkin. Pick it up so you guys can see a little better. So this is what it would look like. And the napkin is just going to hang off the table. And it just adds a little bit of a design element, just in a simple way. Your friends will be really impressed if you do this. I am going to put a salad bowl just because it is at home. We are going into spring, summer, even though it's super windy and snowy outside right now. I'm just going to add this on top. Have a little pretty table setting. I'm going to go ahead and finish that off on all these other ones. Yeah, any funny stories that anyone's got for us to share today?
And feel free to, I know everybody's mics automatically mute, but if you just go down to that bottom left-hand corner, if you have anything you'd like to chime in, and you can unmute without even starting your video. So if you're like, I'm not ready to be on screen yet, you can still chime in with your voice. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything funny that we've experienced here.
What about you guys? Any funny things? Are you guys still open at all at Bees right now?
No,
We
we're
are.
not.
We are completely completely closed. So this is really Bees for us right now. So it's been a little interesting, but I know Beatrice and Eli have been stopping back just to check on the building and make sure things are good there.
Yeah.
Awesome. I actually have a funny story to tell you guys.
Okay, tell us.
So, Easter was last week for us, and I just decided to have some fun and actually do a little table design for my family, just because it was just going to be us, and why not add some fun? So I was putting like name cards out for everyone, and I actually made a name card for my dog and put it at his little
Do you have pictures of that? I bet that's hilarious.
Send it to the Facebook group. That would be fun.
I know, maybe you're gonna start a whole new career planning dog parties now.
That would be awesome.
Connor's puppy is turning 1 on May 4th, which is Star Wars Day. May the Force be with you. So maybe you can plan a Star Wars doggy party for her.
That would be awesome. Yeah, we were planning to do like a big shebang, kind of just to joke around with it. But now I think it's going to be a Zoom birthday party for everyone, which will be funny. But
super fun. Yeah, it's funny. So I'm going to just kind of tell you guys what I've done so far. So I put the flatware down. Your knife always goes on the right along with your spoon. The knife, make sure you're putting the sharp edge towards the plate. And then on the left side, you're going to have your dinner fork, and then on the outside, you'll have your salad fork. And then I just put a little dessert spoon at the top of the setting, just because why not? You know, everyone needs some dessert right now. And then I put the really pretty, like, rounded glasses down. I put the smaller glass down right above the spoon, and then the larger glass goes above the knife. So now that I have the base of the table set, I want to go in and start adding all the design elements. So like florals, and anything else that I have here. So I'll show you guys what we've got. I actually started with some baby's breath, just like really simple stuff that you can find if you were going to a grocery store. I didn't want to do anything like super detailed. I just wanted some fun stuff. I mean, it's still detailed, but nothing that like you can't find at your local grocery store. So I have a bunch of spray paint just laying around, some pinks, purples, and orange. So I went in and I sprayed this baby's breath, which is like one of my favorite things to do. It's definitely a signature of mine. So what I'm going to do is just start taking some of these pieces, and I'll start at the center, and head side up, I'll go and just start placing it in. And if you have to adjust some things and move things around, that's fine too. And I'm just going to start stacking them and kind of creating a table runner with these stems of baby breath that I spray painted. It's okay if there's like greenery stems showing, that's totally fine. If you want to cut them, you can do that too. But I just think this is a really pretty fun way to add color. And I didn't add other greenery because I had the plates that were green. I thought that would be like a fun way of adding that like green element and keeping the flowers fun and vibrant. So while I'm doing this, do you guys have any tips for us for small businesses? What have you guys been doing to keep your business afloat, or what have you guys done to, I guess, like change any marketing schemes around for your business? And this question obviously is for anyone that wants to talk, just like Connor said.
Yeah, so like I said, feel free to hit that unmute button. I know we've got a few people popping in on the chat, but feel free to use your voice as well. That'll make this a little bit more successful. But tips and things I would say, I think yesterday we had a chance to learn a little bit more about collaboration. And I think now with downtime and time to be able to connect with people, it's a really cool way to be able to figure out new creative ways to connect to the community. Because I think right now people are most interested in helping each other And so I think that's a really great way. Think about ways you can leverage your business by supporting other businesses. But does anybody else have anything that they have been implementing to kind of help?
Hi everyone, it's Laura. So I have been kind of deep diving into social media, kind of learning more about Instagram, and did my first Instagram story on my own last night. So that was fun. I have somebody that helps me do them, but I did one. And then also I've been learning more about photography and actually bought some presets and uh, downloaded Lightroom and was kind of took some online photography. There's a guy that has a YouTube iPhone photography school, which I found was fascinating. And so I've been really enjoying some of the creative outlet of photography and then using those photographs and improving on them for my social media.
I think that's awesome. Social media right now, obviously, is huge. I think a lot of people are definitely spending a lot of time on social media right now just because there's so much extra time. And I think just seeing different ways that people are marketing is great. So I love that you were able to design your own story for the first time. That's awesome. Congratulations.
I did it on Instapot.
Awesome. Okay, so now that I have my baby's breath laid, I'm going to see if I can lower the screen a little just to show you guys a little more of what's happening here. Okay. So now that I have that laid, I do have these really fun vases. I actually found them at Target in this, they're like small section when you first walk in. I don't know what it is called, but it's like the fun section for me. I always find really good stuff there. These were each $1. So that's a little hack. If you need some cute, fun vases, I always find these like little minis there. So I found these little bulb vases. I put some bunny tails in there. I did spray some of them. Some of them I had already that were dyed, like this pink one. So now I'm just gonna kind of go like in and out and add them to the table. And then in these pink vases, I got some beautiful ranunculus yesterday. They're these really pretty peach and pink tone, just kind of goes really well with the colors that I used for the baby's breath.
Question for you, Melody. Where are you like purchasing floral through a distributor right now, or have you found any great spots to find some good floral when you're out grocery shopping? Do you have any like favorite spots to go?
So my supplier actually is still up and running. They did just change some of their rules where now they're doing delivery only. So you have to call, place the order, and then they'll deliver, which is fine. But sometimes I like the option of seeing what I'm ordering and making sure it's fresh. So what I've been doing, a few times I've gone to Trader Joe's. They usually have like really good pricing for floral, and it's usually like decent quality, I would say. So Trader Joe's is a great spot. I did go to Whole Foods yesterday too, and that's where I found these ranunculus. They're so beautiful. A little bit pricier than Trader Joe's, but still great quality. Like definitely worth the quality. Like definitely compares to my wholesaler. So I think those are some good options if you needed a place to go for sure.
Awesome. And too, if anybody has any questions, I know Melody's kind of been asking, but feel free to chime in too if there's anything you'd like to pick her brain about in the event world, the floral design world. I know it's always it's really cool to be able to showcase new industries and new skill sets. So feel free to take an opportunity to learn a little bit there as well.
Melody, where did you get your plates at?
I actually also got my plates at Target. Target is definitely my favorite place. I could go there for hours and end up leaving with way more than I expected. So that is usually what happens when I go there. So these are the brand is called Project 62. It's like one of the brands Target carries. I actually have these in white myself, but I loved this color. I thought it was really fun. So yeah, it's a set of 4. So it comes with the entree plate, salad plate, salad plate and then soup or salad bowl. So that's Target is a great place if you need any event stuff for sure. Any ways you guys have been sticking to routine during the quarantine, or anyone just kind of like not caring about a routine, kind of breezing through it and enjoying the time off? What's everyone up to?
I feel like our biggest savior this quarantine has been to-do lists. We write down everything. We plan out the whole week ahead of time. I mean, I like even like making little boxes so I can check it off. That's the only way we can get things done. But if it's on that list, we're gonna find a way to get it done by the end of the day.
That's awesome. Well, I will say for a while I was just kind of like more on the side of I want to relax and enjoy this time off and not be worried about a schedule, and just kind of be a little bit more easy on myself. I'm the type of person that is always go, never have a free moment. So I'm kind of enjoying the time. I do want to get back into a little more structure, I would say, just so when it is time to get back, I'm not like, all right, this is hard. So yeah, just kind of figuring out ways to get back into my groove, and this was one of them.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm also about checklists. I love checklists, and there's an app I found called Paperless. Check it out. It's an app for checklists.
That's
And
awesome. I
even,
definitely have to check it out.
Yeah, and you can even send the checklists to other people.
Oh,
so
really?
Create checklists for other people. Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh, that's a really good idea. I'll just send that to Eli when there's things I want him to do.
Yeah.
I have a question for Melody. How did you decide to turn like a passion that you had into a business? Like, what took you to event planning, and how did you really see like, oh, I can profit from this experience that I love doing? Like, what made you finally make that decision?
Yeah. Thanks. That's actually one of my friends, Zana. Thanks for asking the question. So I have always been like the type of person to host whenever the girls are coming over, or if we have family over for anything special. Always going out. Everyone says in my family, "You're so extra. You're always doing so much." And I'm like, you know what? This is what I like to do. I like to, create an experience. It started actually off with food for me mostly. I love to cook and be in the kitchen, and then that kind of turned into more designing parts of the table and making it really pretty. And then I would say, well, maybe not that long, maybe 5 years ago, I started working for someone, and I was more of their in-house coordinator, and it just kind of turned my passion into something more real. And then when I left that, I started to do more events on my own, and then worked for a few florists, and now I'm kind of, here I am, like, this is what I'm doing. I think if you're passionate about something, and if you feel like it's not work when you're going to work, you're going to profit. And if you're not, if you're not afraid to take that jump, then that just makes it like all the more profitable, in my opinion. I just feel like if you are really passionate and you find a way to really like create something that is different and unique, and then kind of fits your personality also, I don't see why you wouldn't be profitable. So that's kind of where I started and how I got here. It does kind of like the quarantine is kind of taking a little bit of a challenge, a little bit of a turn, and creating some challenges. I would say right now, Mother's Day is coming up, and for like floral designers and event planners, that's a huge moneymaker. That's like one of our big days that we kind of bank on. Not that business isn't consistent, but that's definitely one of the biggest days for us. So I'm just really interested to see how that'll play out. I did just kind of make an announcement that I am open and doing floral right now. So I want to let my network know that I am here, and Mother's Day will be as smooth as it can possibly be. But I'm excited to see what the difference will be compared to years in the past for when I've worked with other people and seen their Mother's Day, because Mother's Day is a huge deal. Like, we definitely don't sleep for 3 days during Mother's Day. It's really intense. But great question. I know I kind of went on a rampage, but I'm going to tell you guys a little bit of what I did so far. So I added all the flowers and the bunny tails. And then what I did is I just used these really pretty, why am I blanking? These beautiful candles. And I just put them, I just used 4, honestly. I kept it pretty simple, and I spread them apart. I'm really into symmetry, so just keeping everything really balanced on the table, making sure everyone gets a little piece of everything. And then I use these little LED votives. You just turn them on the bottom and put them in the little votive holder. They're just glass. I actually got these from IKEA a while ago, really fun and cute. So I'll go ahead and turn all those on. Yeah, and if anyone has any more questions, feel free to bring them on, or any comments too.
Hey, this is Valencia, and I just wanted to know what are some good pieces that you can do, like starting out with. I'm kind of an amateur, and I don't kind of know what goes sometimes. The best I could kind of figure it out is with Pinterest. So I just wanted to know what kind of staples, I guess, should you have for a table this pretty that you have here.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a great question. I think having some staple pieces would be like your tablecloth or like any kind of linen. I just went with actually like a simple white. I did have another option. Actually, I'll show it to you guys. It's also from Target, but I just decided that white would be pretty with all the color that I kept going. But yeah, I think having a few, if you want to start with one, great. Having a few options is also awesome with the tablecloth. Just some pretty plateware. Honestly, Target is great. Home Goods is a great place for starting off. Even Amazon now, there's a bunch of great options on there to find, flatware or silverware even. This is just honestly something we had at home for flatware. I just use this. But if I was doing an event, I would, possibly use one of my event rental companies and order something a little bit, different if that's what my client wanted. But if you're just doing stuff at home, honestly, use what you have. You'll be surprised. Like these vases, I know I told everyone I got them at Target for $1, but you might have some random vases laying around at home. Simple stuff like having a couple different colors of spray paint to spray paint a simple baby's breath. Things like that, but also like these votives. I've had these for probably over a year, and they're still running. I haven't had to change the battery, and honestly, for me, it's not even worth it to change the battery. It's just something that I would get rid of and buy new ones because they're that inexpensive. And I think just finding candles, going to Michael's, using that coupon, that 40% off coupon that everyone loves, to find some fun stuff there. I think just like a couple good vases, some linen. If you have the time or money to get some cute plating, I would definitely say that is a plus. Plating is one of my favorite parts. And then, I did use these napkins that are like a nice cloth napkin, but if you had something more simple, I'm sure like a grocery store has those nicer napkins nowadays, so you can find that and just use that if you want to use something disposable, a little bit easier. Those are kind of my little tips on how to get started. Just trust yourself and give it a shot. Don't be afraid. Like, do what you can, and then you can tweak it. If Pinterest is inspiring you, that's great. If you find like a magazine and you see this picture and that inspires you, that's great. Like, take inspiration from everywhere. I think that's another big key. Like, finding your inspiration from movies, books, magazines, all those kind of things. Instagram nowadays too, and just finding a way to kind of recreate that or recreate it in a way that it means something to you or in your own way is really fun too. I think anything that's coming from your heart is going to be beautiful. So that's my little tip for that. Great question. Thank you.
And I know too, Harriet chimed in the chat and said she has to say you and your table-scape both look beautiful this morning. So wanted to make sure, I know the screen's not right up next to you, so I wanted to make sure you saw that as well. Does anybody else have any other questions or anything they'd like to know from Melody? Or Melody, do you have anything else you'd like to let us know about Mesh Detroit or anything like that?
I have another question.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
Oh, are you sure?
Yes,
I was going to ask okay, so your backdrop is so beautiful. Is it a wall or is it a backdrop that's hanging or what is it, Mel?
I took apart my family room. I moved everything back that way so you don't want to see what's happening on that side of the camera. This is a backdrop. I have it. I use it for events all the time. I have 2 different sizes. So it's just taped up right now. My stand wasn't working really well, so I just kind of taped it up. I was like, I'm going to make it cute and fun. So yeah, I got this on Amazon. Both of them, they were both I think less than $100. So
Oh, really?
great.
Are they paper or what are they?
Yeah, thick paper backdrop. It comes on a roll. I don't know how long exactly it is, but you can reuse it if it's going on a stand. But I might have to cut part of it off because I taped it up. But that's okay too.
Yeah.
But yeah, this paper backdrop.
It looks really good.
Thank you. Did somebody also hear?
Yes. My question was, have you ever had an experience where you had to do a theme that you absolutely hate, and like how did you handle that, or how, if you haven't, what's your advice to kind of get through something like that, if that's the right way to say it?
I actually don't think I have, luckily. I think I've been in a position where I've been kind of like when I was working for somebody that I was an in-house coordinator for, but they had their own coordinator and maybe we didn't see eye to eye on something, but it wasn't something that I was working on firsthand, so it didn't really bother me so much, or it wasn't an issue, I guess. But some advice on if you were in that situation, I think kind of backtracking, I would say really knowing your clientele first is important. So you kind of start to build a network and kind of, if you're putting out a certain look, you're going to attract certain people, I would say, but you still might have that 1 or 2 people that are like, might want to boss you around or try to change this and that. And I would say, just really try to listen to your client from the beginning. That's your best bet. And you don't want to get in any like arguments or anything, trying to avoid that, obviously. But if it's something that you absolutely don't love, I would say try to make suggestions on things that you think your client might like, but is also something that you can appreciate. I think that would be the best way to go about it. It is a tough situation, but if it's something that you truly love, I think at the end of the day, seeing your client smile for putting your look or your feelings or whatever it is aside, it's totally worth it, seeing the client happy at the end of the day. Good question. So I'm going to kind of break down again what I'm doing now. I have these little place card holders. They're these just small little like wood wedges, and I, again, spray painted them pink. It was just like a natural wood. And then I had just little random place cards. Actually, they're like a note card almost, and I cut them and they match my plating. It's the same color as the plating, so I'm just gonna put some names on them and stick them in here, make the guests feel special. They have their own seat. If they want to move around, great. And then I'll just kind of place it either if I have room in front of the plate, I will, or I'll do it right on the side. And then that's kind of my last touch for this little table-scape I have here. I mean, I would like the candles, but this would be my last step before then. And then, food comes out and the fun starts to happen.
I have another question about the baby's breath. So now that you've spray painted it, is it gonna stay pretty well? Like, are you gonna be able to reuse that for other tablescapes?
Yeah, it will actually dry. And when it dries, it does have a little more fallout, but I could definitely reuse it. It's super fun. I love to spray baby's breath for that reason, because I can just either place it around the house or in my room or reuse it for an event. So that's why I really love baby's breath. It's so easy to work with for things like this. yeah, so it'll dry and it'll be really pretty. And if I want to, again, go in and give it an extra spray once it's dried, if it changes a little bit of color, I can do that too.
That's really cool.
So I'm actually going to see if I could get the camera to show you guys a little bit more of what I did. So this is a little bit. That is my final product.
That's amazing. It looks so good, and I have to agree with B. I was too wondering about the pink backdrop, so it looks really great. I love how much color you incorporated. I feel like that's one of the trends I'm really loving in event design right now. Is everyone's starting to incorporate more color and like be a little bit more bold again. So it's been fun to see it all come together. Gonna give everybody one last chance. I know Carly commented here. Love it. It looks so good. So lots of great feedback too, which is awesome. If you have, does anybody else have any other questions or anything that they'd like to drop real quickly? And if not, we'll get things wrapped up and see you guys here tomorrow, Wednesday, for Be Well with Full Lotus Yoga for yoga for all levels. So, all right. Well, awesome. Thank you so much, Melody, for being here today. I'll let you kind of close out and say goodbye before we end the meeting.
Thank you. I just wanted to say thank you again so much for having me and letting me do this. I was a little nervous at first, but it was great. I was a little nervous with the connection situation, but I'm glad we all got to the same place. Yeah, and if anyone ever has any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I know we're on the Facebook group, or most of us are. And if you're not, reach out to Connor for that. Do a little promo for that. But yeah, if you guys have any questions or event questions or need flowers for your mom on Mother's Day, give me a call.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Melody.
Thank you.